Ladies and gentlemen, draw close because tonight we're stepping into a truth that radiates with unshakable power, a reality that surges like a river carving its own path through stone. We're exploring what happens when you succeed without their approval, when your victories rise tall despite the absence of their nods, their cheers, or their validation. You've felt it, haven't you? That moment when your triumph stands bold and bright, yet those you hoped would celebrate you remain silent, distant, or dismissive. Stay with me because we're about to unpack this with fervor and clarity. And I promise you, when we're done, you'll walk away with your spirit lifted, your purpose fortified, and a courage that no one's withholding can dim. Imagine this. You're out there, chasing a dream that pulses through your veins, a vision that fuels your every step. You've poured sweat, tears, and years into it, battling doubts and defying odds. Maybe it's a craft you've mastered through relentless practice, a venture you've built from a flicker of an idea, a mission you've pursued with unyielding heart, or a legacy you're shaping against all resistance. You're not infallible, but you're fierce. You've stumbled, learned, and pressed on, driven by a fire that no setback could extinguish. Along the way, you look to others, friends, family, mentors, peers for support, for affirmation, for a sign that they believed in you. Some gave it freely, but others held back. Their approval, the validation you craved, never came. Yet here you are, standing in the glow of your success, your achievement undeniable, your victory real. And those who withheld their approval, they're still on the sidelines, watching unmoved, while your life proves them wrong. Let's linger here, because this is where the drama ignites. Why does their lack of approval sting, even in the face of your success? Why does their silence, their refusal to affirm you, feel like a shadow on your light? It's not just about their absence, it's about what their absence reveals. Your success, shining without their validation, is a testament to your strength, your resolve, your ability to rise without needing their permission. But it's also a challenge to their worldview. When you succeed without their approval, you disrupt the script they expected you to follow. You prove that their judgment, their skepticism, their withholding doesn't define your worth or your potential. Your victory is a mirror reflecting their limitations, their doubts, their inability to see what you always knew was possible. And that, my friends, is why your success without their approval is so powerful and so unsettling to them. Let's weave a story to bring this to life. There was a young man, a designer with a gift for creating beauty from chaos. He didn't grow up with privilege. His world was one where dreams were often dismissed as luxuries. But he had a vision, a passion to craft designs that spoke to the soul. He worked in cramped studios, sketched through sleepless nights, and poured his heart into every line. Early on, he shared his dreams with his family, hoping for their support. Some cheered, but one person, a sibling he admired, held back. "That's a tough field," they'd say, their tone heavy with doubt. "You need a real job." Their approval never came, but he kept going, driven by a belief in himself. Then came his breakthrough, a collection that captivated the industry, a name that became synonymous with innovation. His designs were celebrated, his work displayed in galleries, his success undeniable. Yet that sibling remained distant, their silence louder than any critique. At a family gathering, their true stance slipped out. "I didn't think you'd actually make it." That was when he realized his success, achieved without their approval, was his greatest victory, a proof that his dream didn't need their permission to thrive. Can you feel the strength of that? Because it's not just his story, it's yours. Maybe it's not design, but it's your craft, your calling, your conquest. You fought for your success, built it from the ground up, and now it stands tall. But there's someone, or maybe several, whose approval you sought, and it never came. Their silence, their doubt, their withholding hurts, because these are people you valued, people you hoped would see your worth. But I'm here to tell you, don't let their absence dim your shine. Don't let their lack of validation steal your joy. You were created to rise, to achieve, to live a life that defies limits. And when you succeed without their approval, it's not a flaw in your victory, it's the crown of your resilience. Let's dive deeper, because there's a fire in this truth that's electrifying. Their withheld approval isn't just about you, it's about them. Your success, standing bold without their endorsement, forces them to confront their own choices, their own fears, their own reluctance to believe in what's possible. When you were still striving, still reaching, they could withhold their approval without consequence. They could doubt you without facing the truth. But now, as your victory shines, their silence is exposed. Your achievement is a beacon, illuminating their hesitation, their skepticism, their refusal to dream as big as you dared. And instead of celebrating your win, they retreat, clinging to their doubts, because admitting you were right means admitting they were wrong. Now here's where the suspense surges. When you succeed without their approval, You're at a defining moment, a crossroads that tests your core. You can let their silence weigh you down, let their withheld validation make you question your worth, your path, your right to shine. You can chase their approval, try to prove yourself, dim your success to win their nod. Or, and this is the choice I'm pleading with you to make, you can embrace your victory, stand in your truth, and let their absence be a testament to your strength. That's the drama, the pulse of this moment. Will you seek their validation or will you soar, letting your success speak louder than their silence? The world is watching and so are they. Let's shift the perspective because there's a nuance here that's riveting. Their withheld approval doesn't always come as outright rejection. Sometimes it's a subtle dismissal, a shrug when you share your win, a comment that minimizes your effort, a silence that feels heavier than words. They might say, "That's nice, but it's not for everyone," or "You got lucky this time." Their words are cloaked in neutrality, but they carry a sting designed to make you doubt your victory. But you didn't get lucky. You worked, you fought, you believed when they didn't. Your success is yours, earned through grit and grace, and it doesn't need their approval to stand true. Let me share another tale to ground this. There was a woman, a scientist with a gift for uncovering truths that changed the world. She didn't start with resources or recognition. Her world was one where ambition was often met with skepticism. But she had a vision, a drive to solve problems others deemed impossible. She worked in labs late into the night, studied relentlessly, and shared her ideas with her peers. Most supported her, but one colleague, a mentor she respected, held back. "It's a bold idea, but it's risky," they'd say, their tone laced with caution. Their approval never came, but she pressed on, driven by her own conviction. Then came her breakthrough, a discovery that shifted her field, a finding that earned her accolades. Her work was celebrated, her name etched in journals, her success undeniable. Yet that mentor remained silent, offering only a curt, "Well done." Later, their true stance emerged. "I didn't think you'd get this far." That was when she understood her success, achieved without their approval, was her greatest proof, a testament that her vision didn't need their validation to change the world. Can you grasp the magnitude of that? Because it's your reality too. Your success, your breakthrough, your moment of glory, it's standing tall, even without their approval. Their silence hurts because these are people you hoped would see you, people you thought would stand with you. But I'm urging you, don't let their withholding define your victory. Your triumph is your truth, a force that proves your worth. When you succeed without their approval, it's not a flaw in your story, it's the heart of your strength. Let's raise the stakes because this moment is a forge shaping who you'll become. Their withheld approval tests your resilience, your ability to stand in your truth. It can creep into your heart, make you wonder if your success is incomplete without their validation, if your victory is less because they didn't cheer. But here's the truth: you were designed to achieve, to inspire, to transform the world through your purpose, with or without their nod. Their silence isn't a judgment on your worth. It's a reflection of their limitations. And when you see that, you're free to let their absence fuel your fire, to let it sharpen your focus, to let it remind you why your success matters. So how do you navigate this? Let's chart the path because this is where you take charge. First, own your success. Don't shrink it, don't apologize for it, don't let their silence make you question it. Your triumph is your testimony, a proof of your heart and hustle. Stand in it with boldness, knowing it's yours by right. Second, release their approval. Their validation is not your measure, your purpose is. Let go of the need for their nod and anchor yourself in the truth of your vision. Their silence is their struggle, not your story. Let it remind you of your independence, not pull you into their doubt. Third, keep rising. The greatest response to their withheld approval is relentless progress. Let their silence be your fuel. Every time you feel their absence, let it spur you to work smarter, aim higher, live braver. Show them and yourself that their withholding can't stop your destiny. And finally, extend grace. This is the hardest but the most liberating. When they withhold their approval, it's tempting to resent them, to judge them, to let their silence breed bitterness. But you can choose a higher way. Respond with kindness, with strength, with a confidence that doesn't need their validation. Set boundaries, but do it with a heart free of grudge. Their withholding is their burden, not yours. Let me bring this full circle because we're not just surviving this moment, we're thriving in it. When you succeed without their approval, it's a sign you're walking in your purpose. It's evidence you're breaking barriers, defying expectations, living a life that demands courage. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's isolating at times, but it's also a gift. It's a moment that affirms your strength, your resilience, your power to shape the world. So here's my challenge to you tonight. The next time you succeed and their approval is absent, don't falter. Don't retreat. Stand tall, embrace your victory, and let it shine. Let their silence be a milestone, a sign you're rewriting what's possible. Let it drive you to be bolder, to dream grander, to live truer. Because you are made for greatness, for impact, for a purpose that transforms. And when you do that, something extraordinary happens. You don't just rise above their silence, you redefine it. You become a beacon, a flame that lights the way for others to chase their own dreams. You show the world what it means to live with conviction, to triumph with courage, to stand unyielding in the face of absence. And in that moment, their withheld approval fades into the background, a mere whisper against the roar of your destiny. So go forth, my friends. Shine fiercely, achieve fearlessly, live mightily. And when you succeed without their approval, let it remind you that you're exactly where you're meant to be. The world awaits and your hour is now.